To say Sonic has been in a strange place the last couple of years would be the understatement of 2021. Thankfully, we have great things like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that was done so freaking well that I feel Sonic is honestly in a good place. It's in a good enough place to where I honestly think that, at least during the time of its initial release, we were able to forget about things like Forces and Lost World and the overall confusion the Sonic series seems to be going through. But because of how good the Sonic movie is, I think that makes this Sonic 2021 game that we're highly anticipating be in a more undesirable yet desirable spot for this franchise. But first things first, I do want to talk about the newest leak and rumor that we're going to be seeing Sonic Colors Ultimate. I'm not too sure what Ultimate it would be. The leaks didn't really talk about that kind of thing, but at the very least, I want to talk about what I'd like to see tweaked if this game is going to be re-released for Sonic's 30th anniversary, because this most likely is going to get, revealed tomorrow. But I do want to talk about it at the very least. I think 60 FPS on the old consoles like PS4 and Xbox One should be a given, but I also think on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and even on PC, they should be in the highest frame rates possible, that being 120 for consoles and unlocked on PC. Personally, I think that for an old Wii game like Sonic Colors, there's no reason as to why it can't, especially when newer games like Rainbow Six Siege and Call of Duty can run at 120 on the newest consoles. Just something I'd like to add. But I'd also like to see if we can have new levels added, potentially ones that were even scrapped from the initial game. That would be something really cool that Crash did, so I think it'd be really cool to see something like that. I also think if they're going to add anything too, I think they should add the mechanic from Sonic Colors DS, such as the homing attack onto wisps. I don't know why that wasn't in the original Wii version, but it was in the DS version, and I would love to see it in a re-release for the game. But also another thing I really think would be really good is a remixed soundtrack. Now, I don't say this lightly, Sonic Colors has a really good soundtrack already, but I think with a new, more modern remix of the soundtrack, I think that could be really good as well. As long as we have the ability to swap between old and new, I think we'll be okay. So because this is Sonic's 30th anniversary, it's extremely important that though yes, we're in a good spot thanks to the movie, it's vital this next game be an all-around undeniably great game that a majority of fans will enjoy. But Sega themselves also need to be really proud of this product. I hope they've taken a long look at the things that they're afraid to look at and really determine why these things didn't work and why these things did. This isn't something exclusive to Sega, of course. Every company should take these things into consideration. But even then, understanding what does and doesn't work isn't everything. Because once you know that, what are you going to do about it? The execution of that newfound knowledge is important. Though they may be different branches, this is the same company behind series like Persona and Yakuza. Two series that are consistently, undeniably great every game. There's no reason Sonic can't be like that from here on out. In fact, it's only right that it be leading the charge. Sonic 2021 needs to save this series because I'm tired of Sonic being the butt of every joke. So with that, if we see a new Sonic game announced for this year or sometime next year, I'd like it to be the culmination of everything Sonic has learned from all its styles. Yes, that includes Lost World 2. I want the explorative yet streamlined aspect of the adventure games, while I also want a boost mechanic and have it reward me for my quick reflexes and memorization of the levels for added replay value. I want with the added mobility thanks to the adventure and Lost World styles to allow us to go from running on the ground to running on walls at will, leading to completely different areas that could even lead to special stages too. So I'd want to see that with how in-depth I want the levels to be that I'm taking from all styles of Sonic's past, I'd want to see if we can have something like, as bad as this sounds, go to Shadow the Hedgehog route, and your actions, or in this case, route you take in a level, will lead us to different places so we end up in different stages afterwards. And because that explanation kinda sucked, what I mean is how in Shadow the Hedgehog, your actions in a stage would lead you to a different route in the game, playing a different stage. I'd like to do something like that in this new game, except it's not based on stipulations like enemies killed or purely just getting to the single end, but it's fully based on what paths you take in the levels, adding insane replay value. But this isn't an insanely great idea just because of the replay value it adds in my eyes, but I feel it's an amazing way to evolve what made so many 2D Sonic games great. Those games wanted you to explore the levels, and as a reward for doing so, you're given a moment of pure enjoyable speed. And this is what sets Sonic apart from other platformers, with speed being his gimmick instead of just making it a full-out constant like the boost games do. Keeping the boost but reworking the use of it in accordance with level design and platforming capabilities is exactly how I feel it should be handled. But adding on to what I said before about the routes inspiration from Shadow the Hedgehog, I'd like to add that there should be no true ending like Shadow the Hedgehog. It kind of defeats the purpose of routes if we always end up at a single point regardless of what we did. Making to where we can get different stages, bosses, and even the final boss different from other fellow players of the game. It would bring the community together so much and have us converse with each other about our experience and what stages we got to, how we got there, and what was waiting for us. And of course, not to mention the music we got to hear along the way. Though now on the topic of story that we just kind of dabbled on, I'd prefer the game be more story driven in the style of Sonic Unleashed, but I don't want gameplay decisions affecting the specific narrative too much because if I'm honest, I don't know if I trust Sega to make a deep Sonic story with that many angles. It can be done in a way that whatever happens in the story, we can have start off at a specific stage and what we do in the stage determines where we go next. But it can work in the story because all of these places can lead to where our end goal of the story is. Or it can be done in a way that, say we're supposedly chasing Eggman in this story and we end up in different places because we push him to these other places during the chase. And with how I mentioned we could be in different stages, have different bosses, and even the final boss be different, can all play together, bringing a varied yet streamlined experience. Because we went through this route through this canyon, we ended up at the center of the earth for the final battle where Eggman uses the energy from the core of the earth to power this new creation he made, taking it on, being the final boss for that route. While in another route, chasing Eggman to a secret underwater civilization led us to fight the super powerful King of the Seas, who's being mind controlled by Eggman, making him our final boss for this route. Things like this would literally be something that I feel only Sonic can pull off this fantastically. But moving on to gameplay mechanics in terms of items, I'm kind of tired of wisps. They're nice, but I feel like the special feeling from seeing them is long gone now. So they should either introduce a new type of creature, rework the wisps, or just include new traditional power-ups altogether. Though using the drill wisps to dig down into the level and reaching a new area that leads to a cave level as the next stage would be really cool in a 3D game. But in terms of new creatures, they need to be beyond things like shields and speed ups. I think even things like stat power ups would be really cool, but can easily be messed up and hurt the flow of the game if done incorrectly. Maybe something along the lines of this power up gives Sonic super strength and gives him access to a route he wouldn't normally be able to get access to. Or this other power-up gives Sonic the ability to flip between dimensions. Using it would switch the level design to a different dimension, Titanfall 2 or Sonic CD style, except not a different time. This would lead to levels in a different dimension if you chose to finish the level with it activated, where it again would lead to another route. But to avoid causing confusion and too much risk for the story because of it, it would transport Sonic and Eggman, and that way we don't have to put Sega through the ringer too much. But overall, that's all basically the things I wanted to see for Sonic 2021. I know in the end, not much about Sonic Colors Ultimate was really talked about, especially since that's what's most likely to be revealed tomorrow, but hey man, let me dream. Either way, when that new Sonic game comes out, I hope the game is going to be good. Maybe even if not now, something like these things could be done in the future, maybe for Sonic's 35th anniversary. But I'd rather not wait that long if possible. With that, if you love Sonic and are hyped for his 30th anniversary, let me know by liking the video and subscribing for more Sonic videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll have a great day. Later!